As many of you already know, recently at the D23 Expo, Battlefront II got this super long behind-the-scenes trailer. What most people didn't realize if they forgot to watch it live is that there was also a Disney Expo Games panel, featuring Janina Gavankar, who plays the main character Iden Versio in the Battlefront II campaign, as well as John Boyega, who obviously plays Finn in the Star Wars sequel trilogy. It was actually during this panel that they revealed footage of John playing Battlefront 2, which gave us our first proper look at space battles in the upcoming game. Now, unfortunately, this footage is really short, but there are still a few key details to discuss. Details like UI and destructible ships, or at the very least, ships you can deal damage to. So in today's video, we're going to take a look at this gameplay footage and also just sit down and have a chat about space battles. My name is Connor and welcome back to Star Wars Central. Now, I did warn you that the footage in today's video is really short, but the good thing is it's still awesome that we get to see even a tiny piece of Battlefront 2 space battles. I am going to freeze frame a couple of times and pick out some details because there are some key things that we can talk about, but I've got to be honest, there really isn't that much to show. I think they're definitely saving the big reveal with proper space battles gameplay for Gamescom this year. EA have already announced that Gamescom will feature more details on space battles in Battlefront 2, so take this as a small teaser of what we'll be seeing at the end of August. But anyway, there are three main things that I've picked out to discuss. Firstly, John Boyega is flying a TIE fighter, that much is obvious, and from the looks of it, he's over a large Imperial space station, which we now know is almost definitely Fondor. Fondor is where Iden is going to meet her father, and from what we can tell, the Rebel Alliance attacks the station, and Iden enters a TIE fighter at some point in the mission. It's very possible John Boyega is playing that mission. That's not to say that this space battle won't appear in multiplayer. Games with single player and multiplayer features often share environments between the two modes of play, so environments that we see in the single player may be adjusted or redesigned for multiplayer gameplay. It's pretty common and makes sense when you consider just how long it takes to create these maps in the first place. So don't be surprised if this gameplay looks very similar to multiplayer space battles gameplay that will hopefully be revealed at Gamescom. Anyway, moving on, we've got two more details to talk about. From what I can tell, the UI layout has remained pretty much the same since EA Play. But remember, this is potentially not final. Personally, I hope it stays like this until the release of the game. It looks super clean and just blends in better with the art style and gameplay. It looks like a real heads-up display, but is also just discreet. But another thing to mention about this is that there are 3 slots on this TIE fighter, just like the other vehicles in Battlefront 2. I think this is going to be the standard going forwards. Maybe we'll see vehicles with more than 3 abilities, but honestly, I'd much prefer to have 3 abilities maximum, but you can swap them like a star card hand. That way we can still balance the vehicles whilst giving even more freedom to the players. Anyway, moving on to our last detail, as you can tell my voice is starting to go, so I'm sorry if it gets any worse. The CR-90 Corvettes flying around in the space battles do yield hit markers when they're fired upon. So when John Boyega is firing at this Corvette here, he is actually dealing damage. Hopefully this means Corvettes will be destroyable in Battlefront 2, just like the Corvettes from the Scarif DLC. What I'm hoping for is that this mechanic expands to as much content as possible. That means frigates, star destroyers, rebel cruisers, turbo laser towers. I want as much destruction as possible because destruction means content. Say for example, I'll get 2,000 points for killing a Corvette or taking out an engine on a rebel cruiser. That is a genuine side objective, something that can perhaps translate into a boost for my team with the main objective. For example, if the objective is to wipe out the enemy fleet or destroy a star destroyer, I should be able to take out a Y-wing, something that's specifically designed for that job, and destroy as much equipment as possible. That is something we've been asking for since before the first game even released, which is why I'm hopeful this is what we're going to see in Battlefront 2. Fighter Squadron in the previous game had no real content to it whatsoever. I loved it all the same, but it's not going to be enough if that's what's coming in Battlefront 2. We need actual depth, real objectives, not just arbitrary numbers or shooting down shuttles. Basically, we need more. But if this footage of him effectively destroying a Corvette is any indicator of what direction Space Battles is going in, then we're in for an amazing game mode in Battlefront 2. Anyway, that's it for this quick update. As you can tell, my voice is really starting to go now, so I honestly apologize for that. And also, I wish there was more to say about Space Battles, I really do. It is by far my most anticipated mode in Battlefront 2. I've been waiting to get a better Space Battles experience since the Death Star DLC released, which was back in, what, September last year? I actually got to play the Death Star DLC early. EA flew me out to Stockholm and it was just insane. I've been complaining and almost campaigning for a better Fighter Squadron experience for basically a year at that point. And the first time I played the Battle Station mode, I just thought, okay, great improvement, fantastic mode, but I want more. And I guess that's the problem with games, there's always something else for the devs to add. And just to clarify here, I thought the space battles in the Death Star DLC and Scarif DLC in the previous game were good. It's just they needed some serious improvement for Battlefront 2, which hopefully we'll see in the Gamescom reveal. If their progress with other modes like single player, the multiplayer content, is a hint at the progress they've made with space battles, then we're definitely on the right track. Either way, my opinion means pretty much nothing, it's up to you guys. Tell me in the comments below what you think about space battles. I've included a straw poll to get some simple opinions, but if you've got any longer suggestions for space battles, stuff like vehicles you think should be added, or mechanics like destructible turbo laser towers, then feel free to post it down below. I think it's healthy that we start to talk about these things, and especially as we get closer to the Gamescom reveal, we're gonna need to start thinking about space battles more and more. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. My voice is pretty much gone at this point. Your support has been incredible, and I couldn't wish for a better community. You guys are just awesome. I'll see you next time, and may the Force be with you.